What's the vibe of the group? How are guys recovering from the game?
Most of the guys were in the gym just for a recovery session, but the film session this morning was good. I think I get some points across, and I would be surprised if one game were to sink this group of guys. I mean, they're too much of a senior group. They're all disappointed, but at the end of the day, we have a chance to play them one more time, and we will be ready for that. But we also are a senior enough group to understand that there's a couple games in between, and we got to focus, because if we don't focus against Houston, then that could be a long night. So I think things are fine.
Was there anything specific that came out of the game, either the midfield play or anything in particular that you think could have been better?
On rewatching the game, I was actually somewhat impressed with the amount of chances we created. I know there was some scuttlebutt out there that we crossed the ball too much, and all that sort of stuff. A lot of those crosses came from our prime assist zone, which we try and target. That's statistically where most goals come from, most assists come from. And we got the ball in those areas. A couple of them were a little farther out. There were some early balls that Jordan tried to swing in and Brad tried to swing in that might have been unusual for us. But at 2-1, at 1-0, they packed it in. At 2-1, they packed it in a little bit, so it was a little harder to get around them. But overall, if you looked at for the stats people out there, our expected goals was good again. Our chance creation was good. So, look, at the end of the day, their guy made 2 plays. And at the end of the day, we had enough chances, I think, that some of our guys could have made some plays, and maybe the outcome's different. Maybe.
It's been a little over a year since Raul got here. How would you sort of describe his impact, not only on the field, but also in the locker room and what he brings to the club?
Good. Very good. I mean, anybody that follows him on Instagram knows he's a family guy. He's good with all the guys in the locker room. He's learning bits of English so he can communicate with guys now. I think he's been good. I think he was one of the ones that, he scored the one, but he took it hard that he couldn't help his team, win the game. The chance in the first half, okay, whatever, but then that ball that I think Christian whipped across, and some of those our timing was just a little bit off, and I thought he might have gotten another one.
And guys sort of lead in different ways. How does he sort of set the tone? Is he a vocal guy ever? Is he more of just kind of
when he barks, people will listen. I would say that, but he's more lead by example. I mean, you can see his body language sometimes. He wears his emotion on his sleeves if he's frustrated, stuff like that. But I would say he's more of a lead by example.
After a game, that ends in the fashion that the Portland game did, today, what's the overall message to the group? And, when there's that type of rivalry and intensity.
The message to the group was, look, at the end of the game, things got heated. At the end of the game, I showed a couple clips of, guys doing stuff on the field, which was a good use of their aggression, rather than waiting till after to, get in a little bit of a shoving and pushing match. We want to hold ourselves to a high standard as a club, as individuals and as a club. So the stuff that went on afterwards, sometimes that happens, but we certainly addressed it. I addressed it with the players, and, we try as best we can to eliminate that stuff. But there is a lot of testosterone out there. There was one guy on their team that was, he was proud of his team winning, and he had a good game, but he could have, walked away. So, those are the moments that I chose to talk about this morning, and I think the guys all got the message.
Did you happen to see Clark's antics in the corner?
I saw. I mean, it's I would be disappointed if one of my players did that, but he's not my player, so that's up to Gio and his staff to talk about. It's not me.
Got that transfer windows open for a little while now. Are you in the opinion that you guys need some reinforcements in a certain area, or are you pretty happy with where you're at?
I would always love reinforcements as a coach. With Victor's kind of injury, it's kind of sidelined him. Aussie replacement, some of those things. There's areas where we could certainly improve. But, if it happens, great. I know those guys are working feverishly on getting another player. If it happens, great. If not, confident that this squad that we have now can go do some damage in the playoffs for sure.
Have you received any notification early of any suspensions from Portland or
Nope.
your own team?
Nope. No, nothing.
Nicolas Ludero will be going to MLS All-Star Game. What do you think of the overall All-Star Game and him being part of that skills challenge, all that?
Well, yeah, it's part of the American sports culture. I mean, I don't know if any of us can ever change that. I think, All-Star games are good. You want to showcase your players. Do the players always like it? Is there enough money involved? Enough goodies to make it worth their while? The opponents that they choose. You have that dust-up with Porter and, a while back between coaches. I mean, it can be a good game. It can be an entertaining thing. I'll be keen on the skills challenge. I mean, that's something that's different that might spark some fan interest. So overall, I'm okay with it.